is going on, everybody? So I know it has been quite some time since I have made a video. That is due in part because I spent the majority of my summer scuba diving, and the visibility here in eastern North Carolina for scuba diving and videoing isn't all that great. Conditions have to be just about perfect, and that just doesn't happen very often. I do have some video I've put together a little bit and put on YouTube and on my other social media pages. I do have a little bit more, but it's not really enough for a video. If you guys would like to see it, just let me know and I'll throw it together. It's not very long. It might be like 6 minutes long. There's some good bottles in there, some tokens, some shark teeth. But again, it's kind of hard to see. But I mean, if you guys want to see that, we'll try it. So anyways, it has cooled off. Deer season's still in. And I am out looking for a new site that I've been doing some research on. Now, this site is super old. The site dates from about 1680 to 1705, 1708, somewhere in that range. There's not a lot of information on it other than the man's name that settled here. And it also says in there that he settled at the mouth of said creek and said creek. Well, guess where I'm at today? I'm at the mouth of said creek and said creek. It doesn't, I've got his wheel. It does mention a couple things in there about he gave his son a large plot. He gave his plantation and his horses to his wife. He gave the 640 acres to his eldest son. And his will was written in like 1718. So there's a good chance that there could be other houses in here from relatives, after he passed away. Because I'm sure Mama got the house. I'm sure the sons were old enough to move out on their own. I don't know if they left the county or not, but maybe they built a little shanty or a little house in here somewhere. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to jump. We're almost to our location. We're going to go all the way to the mouth to where you can see the water. And we're going to just look for anything in the ground, any kind of vegetation, anything that sticks out like a sore thumb. Something being that old, there's probably not going to be much iron. I would imagine that the house was probably wood pegged. So if there is any iron, it's going to be, cooking pots or horseshoes or mule shoes or something to that extent. So let's get to it, see what we can find. That's all I can tell you. I don't know, it might not be here. If it's not here, we'll kind of search the surrounding areas around here and kind of pan out from here. But this is going to be the starting point. So let's get to it, see what we can find. All right, guys. So every time I look for one of these house sites, I always look for vegetation that's in the ground, vegetation that sticks out like a sore thumb. Now, I haven't seen any yet, but I'm thinking maybe the closer I get to the mouth of this creek, that chance might increase. Now, if I look at a topographical map, there's a really high rise, should be right up here in front of me somewhere, that goes up 15 foot above sea level. And I'm thinking that might be where they settled their house at. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Through the woods, you can see some water. That is the mouth of the said creek that I was talking about earlier. So we're going to continue our trek. And, as I say, I'm looking for vegetation, looking for something to stop me in my tracks, to start metal detecting to see if there's anything here. So as soon as I find something like that, I'll turn you guys back on and let you know. Okay, well, this is one of the things I was talking about. Now, I am a good 3 or 4 miles back in the woods. And this right here is I think it's a yucca plant. I think it's what it's called. There's only one, so that could mean that a bird could have had a seed, in something in his mouth or on his foot, and it dropped here and it grew this plant. Normally I like to see 3 or 4 more in here, but I do see some ferns in here, which kinda could indicate home site, but ferns do naturally grow in the wild. Yucca plants do not. So I'm gonna flip the machine on. I'm just gonna kind of swing in here real quick and just see if I hear any blips or squeaks or anything, and if I do, we'll get it on camera, but if not, we're gonna continue our trek on. All right, so I just dug a signal. I wanted to see what it was, to see if it was some kind of tool, and it's some kind of heavy iron object. Now, I don't know really what that is. I would think that's some sort of maybe some sort of hand forged tool of some sort, maybe. I don't really know. Could be the, could be the front of a hook. I mean, I can't imagine it's anything modern because I am so far back in the woods. But you never know. I'll hold on to it. We'll beat it off some when we get back to the truck. See if we can reveal something off of it a little better. We're going to continue our trek on. Let's keep going. All right, so I'm walking along through here. See a hole. I saw a yucca plant over here somewhere, and I'm just kind of thinking, I don't think I'm on the right spot. Well, then I hit a 65, and I do have a disc right here. I think it's going to be a button, and if it is, then this is a really good sign that I might be in the general area of the right site. However, this definitely doesn't, if it is a button, it doesn't date to 1680s. So let's see what we got. Looks like a button. Let's give it a quick pants rub here. Yeah, I think it's just going to be an old flat button. I don't see anything on the shank or where a shank would have been, but I'm pretty positive that's what that is. Nice little convex. It's definitely brass. It's not pewter. Normally, if I was on that site of mid 1600s, this would be pewter, and it's not. But that doesn't mean that this isn't from the family and I'm not on the right track. So I'm going to keep kind of heading up this way right here, slowly going up this hill, and to see what happens. We'll let y'all know at the next signal. Guys, I got a nice loud 76 reading right here, and I thought we'd dig it together. Like I said, I can't imagine it being anything too modern, other than maybe like a stray bullet, but because I am so far back in the woods. So I'm kind of hoping it's going to be something good. Let's see what we got. It's out. There it is. It's a shotgun shell. Wah, 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 wah. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. Let's see if we can find us another signal. Now, as I was walking up through here, I was thinking, I don't have my pistol with me. And the county that I'm in has a very large bear population. And they have some very, very large black bears here also. And I hadn't seen any bear sign until now. That right there is poo from a bear. That is bear poo. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can see seeds and berries mixed in there. That is 100% bear poo, and it looks kind of wet, so it looks kind of fresh. I'm not going to touch it, but I'll poke it with a stick. Well, it's kind of, it's a little hard. Oh, it is kind of mushy. So that was dropped not too terribly long ago. Could have been early this morning or late last night. But that's not really what I want to see when I'm in the woods by myself without a gun. The only thing I'd be able to do is book it to that water and just get out there away from him and let him go on his way. But most of the time bears are more scavengers. They're more scared of you than you are of them, kind of thing. So not really all that worried, but I'm going to keep my guard up anyway. All right guys, well, I'm going to need some help on this one. So I just dug this massive piece of iron, and I have no earthly idea what that is. I mean, has anybody ever seen anything like that? It's not a shovel, not being spaded like that. Man, I have no earthly idea what that could even remotely be. I don't even think I've ever seen anything like that. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know in the comments below. I think I'm also going to post this on Facebook and Instagram also. So if you don't follow me, be sure to follow me on both of those also. We'll see if we can get an idea off of that. Let's get back to it. All right, so I got another signal. Got Thomas to check it too. 87 both machines. I mean, it was a good probably 14 inches down. What do y'all think? Think it's a button or a coin? I think it's gonna be an Indian head penny because it looks thick. We'll find out together. How about that? It is not a button. I'll give it a pants rub. I don't know. It's definitely a coin. Just what kind of coin, I don't know. It's mighty toasty. But it's thick, like an Indian head penny. Probably a stinking Lincoln. I don't know. I'll throw it in a bag. Maybe once it dries out, I'll get an idea off of it. Either way, I'll definitely take it. That's one more up on Thomas.
That's easy to do.
You guys see this thing right here? This tree with these thorns on it like this. So here in North Carolina, they call these devil's walking canes or devil's walking sticks. And the best of my knowledge, from what I understand, is these only grow in a place where there's been fire. Hence, fire, devil's walking stick. So, did the woods burn up at some point in time? Maybe. Or is that just folklore? I don't know. We're gonna get back to it. All right, so I'm walking through here and I start to see a bunch of these ferns that are not native. Now, normally when you see ferns grow like this, big and tall like this, that normally indicates a house site of some sort, or some sort of structure. Now, you gotta realize that back in the early days of North Carolina, there were really only a few jobs that you had. You were either, you know, a hunter trapper where you sold furs, meats, skins, whatnot, to the Indians or to local tradesmen that come up and down the river. You were a planter, you know, meaning where you planted crops and you sold it to ships coming on and off of the water. You were a sailor, or you were just filthy rich, like a politician or something like that. So a lot of these houses like this that are in these woods, they, you know, they didn't really have a lot of money per se, but the stuff that's here should be really, really old. So we're gonna get back to it, see what else we can find. All right, so I wasn't having a whole lot of luck locating the early home site that I was hoping to look for, but then again, I wasn't really expecting to locate it just because it's so old and there's so little information written on it. It's really gonna have to be one of those that you just stumble upon by accident. So I'm working my way back to the truck. I found some shotgun shells and some iron, with that one button, one coin. Not much. So I'm thinking maybe it might be like a trapper's house or trapper's quarters or hunting lodge or something like that. But I'm working my way back to the truck, and I think we're going to hit another site. But while I'm on the way there, I am going to hit every high site that I see. If I come across anything good, we'll let you guys know.